We understand that an arrest has been made of the Access of Love Garden. Now, can you two elaborate on that, please?
Do you want to start? Or?
Sure. On November 12th, around 10 a.m., San Francisco Police Department served a warrant to my house and rang the doorbell. I did not immediately answer, so they come inside my house with a key. Supposedly they had gotten in contact with the landlord, which was good because that way they didn't break down the door. I will give points on
less
that
collateral damage,
because I would have had to pay for that. So I do give them bonus points on that one. But explained myself as a service provider for Access of Love, and they pursued to treat me as though that did not mean a whole lot. So I explained what the situation was and presented my paperwork, and they basically said I was out of compliance and arrested me and took me down for booking. And as of now, there have been no formal charges charged at this time, but we are in the process of finding out what the situation is as of now.
Yes, we're at the clerk's office just about to, and the attorney has gone in to see whether we are charged or not. I say we because it's true. So Shona, what have you got to say about this? Do you think that we'll be able to actually restore the situation to its previous?
Yeah, I think that we will get, we will bring this full circle. We don't know how long it's going to take, but there are a few interesting points that I want to mention to folks that regularly watch our show. We did get, Chad got written up in the SF Chronicle as the truest green grow that SFPD had ever seen due to solar panels and etc. And then the other thing that I want to mention, and one of my concerns with how the investigation was conducted, is that I believe that it violated HIPAA and it violated patient confidentiality. The SFPD has no right to ask a provider what their patient's diagnoses are.
Or come in and tap your phone either.
Well, none of that's all right, but that's not a concern in this case. What's concerning and disconcerting is a violation of HIPAA rights. And it's also a resources problem. When we have a bunch of officers at one location for 5 hours turning over someone's house, coming up with less than $100 in cash, and there's a lot of taxpayers' money going down the tubes that could be spent on violent crime, and that's been sort of the gist of San Francisco law for 30 years, has been that this is not to be the top priority, whether it's medical or non-medical even, that, violent crime always needs to come first.
Here's the hard question. Do you think that this has anything to do with the new administration, the judicial administration?
You mean the new seating of the police chief?
Yes.
I do think that that perhaps San Francisco policies haven't been fully explained. I think that the changing of the guard always creates a situation of confusion amongst the ranks, but I do know that when the raid came to my awareness, I immediately called the deputy chief, who was in a meeting with the chief, who immediately called the captain of narcotics to his office to find out why an Access of Love garden had in fact been raided. So while the officers were at his house saying they didn't know about Access of Love, or the lead officer didn't know, but the other officers definitely knew, the chief of police was asking the narcotics, captain, what was going on here. So, there is a little little gap of information and education that probably has to happen, and we are going to have a conversation with the new deputy chief as well as the chief.
That's a good start, isn't it? Thank you, Shauna. Appreciate it. And thank you. You have anything you want to add?
No, I think we've covered it all.
All right. Thank you very much, Chad. We appreciate your hard work very much, and for setting a shining example of how gardens should be, indoor gardens should be operated. And I'm very happy that the Chronicle acknowledged it. This is Ed Rosenthal, the guru of cannabis, and I wanted to ask you, Ed, what do you think about the enforcement compared to what Obama's administration was? Obama made an announcement last January or so that cannabis patients would no longer be prosecuted, or their providers.
I consider anybody who prosecutes cannabis a terrorist, and so that we have a group of terrorists right here in Oakland. We have statewide terrorists, and we have terrorists on a federal level. These people are not legal. They're acting under the color of authority, and they should all be arrested. And that includes the police, the prosecutors, and the judges who go along with it.
Well, there's a lot of money in it for them, perhaps.
That's right. But I want to trade their pinstripes for horizontal stripes.
Thanks for that.
Okay.
Thank you. American Medical Association.
I'm Lynette Shaw, and I own the longest-standing dispensary in California. I've been licensed since 1997, and we've survived, so far, every administration.
Yes, and it seems like every administration we have to re-educate them. So on that note, do you think that the Obama administration has been properly educated in our issues, because of all this economic stress and the war, and we kind of get pushed aside? But do you have any hope for the Obama administration actually?
Yes, I do, because during his campaign, I joined the Democrats because I felt that there was some hope there. And Obama's sister during the campaign, Dr. Maya, she's a wonderful woman. She's very compassionate. I handed her some critical medical marijuana materials, also a DVD film of all the speeches at the Cannabis Day in 2005, which was a critical day with statements made from the heart by a lot of very, very good people. I know when Dr. Maya Ings Satoro told me that her brother was very compassionate and that he didn't think that sick people should go to jail for medical marijuana, that I know this is the truth. I know I handed her some key materials, and I know that she felt that it was important enough to hand those materials to him. So that was I planted a seed, and I know that he has some of the right stuff in his hands.
Oh, good for you. I'm so glad you did that.
Thank you.